Can you see this up? I have a 4 p.m. call and my toddler won't stop crying. I have things to do, so we need to get done with this quickly. Just kidding. So today is going to be a get ready with me, just because I've been feeling a bit down, and by the title of this video you guys should know what I'm about to get into. Honestly guys, it's been tough, and I feel like I wanted to make content that people could actually relate to, people could actually enjoy, because that's what I loved about being on YouTube all those years ago when we had the OGs like Aaliyah J, Jackie Aina. Those are the only two that's come to my head so far. But I guess, yeah, just talking about things that I'm going through. As much as I hate being vulnerable on the internet, just because I just feel like there's so many evil people online, I feel like this conversation is definitely overdue. So the market right now is very, very, very competitive, which is understandable. Everyone needs a job, but at the same time, it's like there is no jobs for these like there's not enough demand for, what am I trying to say? There's too much supply. No, there's too much demand and not enough supply. That's what we're seeing right now. It is too oversaturated with people that are looking for jobs, as opposed to companies that are actually willing to hire or looking to hire. Don't even get me started on these job descriptions. They're either too vague or too weirdly specific. And a lot of the roles that I'm applying for are entry level or junior. And they want they want you to have done the job before you've actually got into the job. But it's like, if everyone is saying the same thing, then where do you expect me to get the experience from? That's problem number one. You're expecting people who are new to the game or haven't been in the corporate game very long to come with experience, but a lot of companies aren't willing to give people that experience. I just feel like nowadays it's about who you know to get a job. And if you get it on your own, I don't want to say it's purely luck. It is hard work and prayers, a lot of prayers. So I completed my Code First degree I completed my data science degree with Code First Girls, and I'm so proud of myself for actually doing that, just because it was something that I didn't actually finish university, and I felt like I got a second chance at proving to myself that I am intelligent, that I'm not stupid, that I can start things and finish it. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that. But it just kind of feels like, not it was for nothing, because I did learn a lot from that, but it just feels like, okay, so what now type of thing. I don't even remember what I was saying. I literally just got sidetracked because, yeah, bro, ADHD brain is real. Anyways, there was actually one job that I applied for, and it's so weird because I just think, we're in 2025, is this really what you're asking for? I applied for it anyway. They said that they only wanted graduates from Russell Group universities. Like, girl, like, who are you? Who are you? But to my surprise, the owner of the company actually reached out to me, said he loved my CV, but they're only looking for people who have graduated from Russell Group universities. And as stupid as it sounds, I respect him reaching back out to me, because a lot of recruiters have been just airing me point blank. So as dumb as that rule was, I do appreciate him saying that, whatever. I did respond to him and said, well, I literally finished my degree with 87%. I'm probably smart. I did data science. I did coding, for God's sake. I'm probably smarter than a lot of the guys that you're hiring from these Russell Group. At first, it used to bother me a lot that I didn't have a degree, and I would apply to these places that were looking for you to have a degree. But now I kind of just use that to my advantage, because even though I don't have a degree, there's lots of other things I have done outside of the typical educational system. I have done multiple courses, government-backed courses, and also gone out of my way to look for courses to educate myself on. And then I also work on top of that whilst I'm doing these courses. So I don't really let that bother me anymore. I just talk about what I can offer the company. I mean, it was working for a while, but now it's just been like radio silence. And I won't lie to you guys, I fucking hate recruiters. I think they are blood-sucking mosquitoes. I think recruiters are manipulative. I think they're fundamentally deceptive, and they're wicked. Recruiters love to ghost, but when they need something from you, they will rush rush you like there's no tomorrow. And I can't stand recruiters. I think they're so manipulative. When they're done with you, you will never hear from them again. And I get it, they probably don't have time to send out rejection email letters, but I feel like if you've gotten past a certain stage, like a lot of the interviews I've been doing, I've gotten to the second round and then I just never hear. It's not like, oh, we're not going to move forward. I just never hear from them again. And it's just nasty. I think there's a lack of respect from a lot of these companies to the people that are applying. A lot of times it's like, oh, we're going to get back to you. And I feel like I've nailed the interview. Like, yes, I'm going to hear back from them. And I never do. And you know what? It even sucks, yeah. Because I don't know, I've even been trying to like ask ChatGPT this. I've tried to TikTok it to see if anyone has had the same experience. I have not been able to find, I've tried Reddit. I've not been able to find someone with the same experience as me. So when I would go to interviews, yeah, I'm meant to be meeting, like for instance, I meet the hiring managers and then I'm meant to meet like the director of the company or the director of the team or whatever. And every single time, I kid you not, God is my witness, it has happened to me 4 times. 4 times. Every single time I'm meant to meet someone, something magically happens. The first couple of times I thought, okay, that's fine. It's a weird coincidence. But with me, I'm already a very anxious person. I clock onto things very quickly. And I'll tell my friends like, this doesn't sound promising. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like something that I should just think, oh, like it just happened. When it happened the second time, I was like, no, something's wrong. They clearly don't like me. Then my friend was like, yeah, but you know, you could meet the director and you still not get the job, which is fair. I think that was a good point. But she was just trying to say like, don't let that be something that puts you in a place where you've already counted yourself out, which I think is good advice. I think it is fair to say. But when it happened the 3rd, the 4th time, I feel like where the area that I'm trying to get into, ironically, I'm trying to get into recruitment. Where the area I'm trying to get into moves so quick with things, I know that if they're not moving, how am I trying to say? If they're not moving things around to try and get an interview with you, they most likely just don't want you, or you haven't satisfied the hiring managers for them to be like, yeah, we want to continue interviewing. So now I'm going to talk about the frustration and the burnout I have experienced throughout this whole thing. I have definitely felt like I have been burnt out. I feel like it was last week or maybe even the week before. The week where I didn't post anything on YouTube, I honestly was so tired. I was exhausted and I felt like I needed to take a break because I felt like I was losing my mind. And it was just so, it's the word dehumanizing, demoralizing. I felt so low about myself. And do you know what triggered that? I actually had a conversation with the recruiter and she asked me, your CV is so good and it seems like you've done really well at your last company, because my last role was a sales role. So how come it is that you haven't been able to find a job in recruitment yet? Please, like, what did she just say to me? Are you mad? It made me feel like I was just so shit, that I had nothing to offer. Maybe she's right. Maybe maybe that's the reason why I haven't been able to be successful in this whole job thing, just because, like, I don't know. It just made me feel like, I don't know. I just felt so bad after that phone call. That was literally the moment I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this right now. I need a break because this is really starting to, is warring on my mental health. Where you spend hours tailoring a CV. That's one thing they love to tell you on TikTok. The reason why you're not hearing back from companies is because you're not tailoring your CV. Girl, I've been doing that. They just don't care. It's so demoralizing and it just feels so, no one's reading that damn cover letter too. No one can convince me they read cover letters. I just feel like I'm performing. Pick me. That's the real pick me. Pick me, choose me, love me. And it's like, they don't give a crap. They could give, bro, I threw up in one of my interviews. That day was one of the hottest days that we've had. If you're in the UK and you've been suffering in this heat wave, you know what I'm talking about. one of the hottest days. And you know what it is? We have to come in smart attire regardless of whether it's snowing, whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, which of course, fair enough, it's an interview, that is expected. Please come looking presentable. But it's like, damn. I was really going through it that day. I made it to about I want to say we were 3/4 done, and I just had to exit the room and throw up because I was feeling so, I think it was my nerves. I think it was just the exhaustion. That was like my 3rd interview by that point. And bearing in mind, all of these places are like an hour away because I live on the outskirts of London. How am I trying to say this? Throughout my entire life, I've really struggled with shame and periods of depression. So when all of this was happening, it really intensified, or I guess it really reared its head during this time, just because I feel like as the oldest child, I've let my family down. Ooh, it's weird to say it. I guess because there's no one here, I feel like I can say it. But it has been really, really, really shameful. I feel like such a failure. I feel like such a loser. I'm 25. I have never had a real corporate job. All of the jobs I've worked have been retail. And it just feels like when I'm trying to get my life together, it all comes crashing down. And I've really, really put a lot of that on myself, not taking into account how bad the job market really is. That's something that I've been struggling with, and I just wanted to be honest about. I see people that I went to school with. I was considered a very smart student. My GCSEs, I got A's and A stars. A-levels, I didn't do as well, but that's when I already had checked out of education by that point, I'll be so honest. But it's just you're this golden student. You have done well in your studies, so it's like, why can't that translate into your real life? I feel like I've been grieving the life that I felt like I should be living at this point. People love to say don't compare yourself, and yes, I don't believe you should be comparing yourself, but I also have to be honest about how I have been feeling. It's like I went to school with all of these people. We were in the same year, and when you're in school, it's not really that big of a deal because everyone's in school, right? You're all going through the years together. But it's like when you get into the real world, that's when you really have to not prove yourself, but it's like what has all those years in education amounted to? And even if you don't take the educational route, what have you been doing outside of that shows this is what I've done with my life? It's like I will always feel behind because although yes, they may be working and they're doing great, I haven't even gotten to that point yet, or I haven't even stepped into the same playing field as them yet because I've never had a corporate job. So it just feels shitty. And do you think on social media as well, more people are broke or more people are struggling than they let on? Because I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, people are living these fake lives. Because I do think a lot of people have it. I do think a lot of people are successful and a lot of people are living their best lives. Everything that I go through, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I was talking about this with my friend the other day, and she was saying there's a lesson that I have to learn. And I think that's the lesson of, I can't remember what she said, but I believe the lesson that I'm meant to learn is the lesson of taking action, moving with intention, and just playing the long game, I guess. Because what I've realized during this whole thing is no one is coming to save me. If I don't apply for jobs, those jobs won't get applied for. If I don't do XYZ, it's not going to get done. If I don't do certain things, I'm just not going to see anything, and I shouldn't be expecting to see anything because I'm not doing anything to help myself. I think where I'm I don't want to say I'm shy, but I'm very reserved. I don't know if you guys can tell by my videos, but I'm not very much of a big talker. I'm usually oh, I hope they don't see me because I'm just very awkward. But this interviewing process has really taught me you need to have confidence. If you don't have confidence, you've already lost it. The fact that you've already gotten into those interview rooms says that they see potential in you. You just need to sell yourself. You can't sell yourself if you're not confident. I went into my first interview with tons of papers. I had a whole folder full of papers, and when they would ask me a question, sometimes I'd look over the questions like, yeah, and then I know they was thinking, get this girl out of here. My last interview, I really thought, oh, they're gonna give me this job. I was speaking with the hiring managers after. It went so good. And then it just gets ripped out under you like, yeah, no, we don't actually want you here. You're never actually gonna hear from us again. Bye. It just feels like shit. Like, why would you guys do that? Girl, like, you're fake ass. Like, why would you guys do that? Okay, guys, this is the finished look. I really did feel better just speaking about the things I'm going through. It was kind of like a release for me. And I'm so glad that I did this. It's either I was going to be in bed applying for jobs, or I was like, you know what, let me get up, make some content. And I felt like I released a lot of things, and I hope you guys could relate, or you know what, I hope you guys can't relate, and I hope you guys are doing well. But if you guys could relate to anything I would say, I'd really appreciate your thoughts in the comment section down below. I love this look. Like, honestly, I think this is the best my hair has been in a minute. And I've been doing it with the clip-ins now. But there's nothing like your natural hair. And woo, girl, this bob. I look so yummy.